Hooray for Hollywood! Hello there, I'm Stan the Movie Man. This is your WIMZ.com movie review. And this week, Stan's Choice won. Now, I'm doing things a little differently this time. Stan's Choice was to see movies that have been nominated for Best Picture that I hadn't already seen. I'd seen 8 of the nominees already, so I decided to see the other 2 films that I had not as of yet seen, watch them on DVD. Those 2 movies are Winter's Bone and The Kids Are All Right. Let's talk about Winter's Bone first. It stars Jennifer Lawrence as a 17-year-old teenage girl named Ree who lives in the sort of the backwoods, very rural area in Missouri. Not a lot of jobs in that part of the country, so a lot of people cook and sell meth. That includes her father, who has been arrested and is due in court in the next few days. In order to get out of jail, Ree's dad put up the family home and property as collateral on his bail. If he doesn't show up for court, they're going to take their house. Ree is pretty much taking care of her younger brother and sister and her mother, who has apparently had an emotional breakdown because of the father's problems. She lives in a very insular community where you don't make waves, you don't end up in a burned out car. Your corpse, anyway. Because a lot of her extended family is involved in the meth business as well. The movie is excellent. It's what I refer to as redneck noir. It is a very dark tale, but it's also very good. Jennifer Lawrence, who was nominated for an Academy Award for her work in the film, is fantastic as Ree, a very strong-willed young woman who has been forced to live a life that I don't think we would wish on anyone. And the supporting cast is all amazing. Her uncle in the movie, Teardrop, is played by John Hawkes, who has also been nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his work. It's a very good movie. Another good movie is The Kids Are All Right. It is the story of a long-term lesbian couple whose lives are turned upside down when their teenage children's sperm donor is contacted by the kids and becomes a part of their life. Starring Annette Bening, Julianne Moore, and Mark Ruffalo. It is a very good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. Now, you would think on the surface that a story of a long-term lesbian couple and the children they had by artificial insemination would be somewhat edgy. But it's really not an edgy movie at all. Once you get past the whole lesbian thing, it's a pretty standard, it's almost a romantic comedy. It's a little more serious than that. But if you replaced Annette Bening's character with a male of a similar age, a male actor, all the same things could happen. It's not as out there as its initial premise would make you think. It's actually kind of a safe movie, really, even with the unusual family lifestyle. But it's a very good movie too. And I was a little dubious about Annette Bening's nomination for Best Actress until I saw the movie. And there is one scene in particular where she begins to realize that she's been betrayed by her partner, Julianne Moore. And the emotions that play across her face in a very tight close-up, it's just brilliant work. Especially since earlier in that same scene, she's opened herself up emotionally to the person with whom Julianne Moore has betrayed her. So it's a really good movie, but I don't think it's quite as groundbreaking or edgy as it would be thought of just hearing the storyline. I'm giving both movies 5 guitars. Check them out on DVD or on demand. Now, let's move on because it's almost Academy Awards time, and let me give you my picks for the Academy Awards. This year, for Best Picture, I'm saying The King's Speech. It's a brilliant movie. Best Director, I'm going with David Fincher for The Social Network. I think it's a crime that Christopher Nolan wasn't nominated in this category for Inception. But you go with what you got, and I'm going with David Fincher for The Social Network. For Best Actor, Colin Firth for The King's Speech. Again, a brilliant performance. Best Actress will be Natalie Portman in Black Swan. While I was not a huge fan of the movie because it just made me tired, her work is very, very good in the film. Best Supporting Actor, going with Christian Bale in The Fighter. Reinvents himself yet again in the image of the character he played, a meth-addicted former boxer. Best Supporting Actress, I'm going with Haley Steinfeld from True Grit. Just a wonderful performance from her, aided by, I think, a brilliant script from the Coen brothers. Best Original Screenplay, I'm going with Inception by Christopher Nolan. And Adapted Screenplay, The Social Network by Aaron Sorkin. He's the writer of that film. Animated Feature, go back and check out my review of How to Train Your Dragon. I told you it would probably be nominated for an Academy Award and lose to Toy Story 3. That's what I'm predicting. Toy Story 3, Best Animated Feature. And the last category I'm picking is Special Effects. I'm going with Inception. There are special effects shots in the movie. None of them are terribly flashy. They just are used to flesh out the scene. But the part of the movie where the city folds over on top of itself as he is showing his possible partner around in the dream world, that is just a fantastic scene. I would give it the award just for that. So that's my Oscar picks. If you have any questions, feel free to send them to me at stanthemovieman@att.net. You can also follow me on Twitter @MovieManStan. Till next time, see ya.